Welcome to our 2021 Gala. I'm Sister Nancy Linenkugel, Congregational Minister, and on behalf of all of our sisters and associates, I greet you and thank you for joining us. Have you ever heard of a labyrinth? No, I don't mean the complex structure in your inner ear containing the organs of hearing and balance. I mean labyrinth as a pathway, an ancient walking meditation. A labyrinth is one path leading to a center to find God. And then it's retracing your steps back out to the starting point to take God to the world. Each of us is on a pathway in life, and a labyrinth symbolizes that journey. One person whose journey has intersected with the Sylvania Franciscans is NASA's former flight director, Kranz. In May 2021, the Toledo airport was renamed the Eugene F. Kranz Toledo Express Airport to honor Gene's Toledo roots. We're just delighted that Gene and his wife Marta are serving as honorary chairpersons for tonight's gala. Let's hear their message from their home near Houston, Texas.
Thank you for the opportunity to be the honorary chair of this year's gala. I'm speaking today from my office, surrounded by mementos of a blessed life. I speak at retreats and prayer meetings on my life as a fighter pilot, an aircraft flight test as a NASA flight director, as an air show performer. My theme, God is my co-pilot, begins with the story of the nuns at Central Catholic who gave me my future. Pictures of the Sisters of St. Francis who launched me on life are resident on my desk. I grew up in a military boarding house, and after the war, I carried 2 jobs to help support my mother. Sister Mark covered for my attendance problems, while the Franciscan sisters, Sister Caroline and Sister Patricia, prepared me for the Annapolis entrance examination. And I passed the exam, but I failed the physical. Their tenacity located an Ohio Elk scholarship loan that provided for my future. I speak often of the Apollo 13 mission. The Sylvania Franciscans were the first in my life who taught me that failure was not an option. As guests in this year's Gala in Sylvania, or virtually across the country, your gifts assist those in need today and to the future. Remember, in giving, failure is not an option. Thank you.
We are companions on the journey, breaking bread and sharing life. And in the love we bear is the hope we share, for we believe in the love of...
As the sisters have been walking a providential path since 1916, today we are happy to thank you for your support of our ministries. We couldn't walk the path alone. The path taken by Mother Adelaide Sandusky when she left the Rochester Franciscans in 1916, coming to Toledo, is a grand tale of triumph, courage, vision, wisdom, beauty, and love. While seeking a permanent home for her sisters in the Toledo area, she happened upon a rural farm in Sylvania, Ohio. Legend has it that when Mother Adelaide's rented car got stuck in the mud during her inspection of the farm, she exclaimed, "This is the place." The sisters who initially came to teach the children of Polish immigrants in 1916 soon realized an additional path when the 1918 flu pandemic hit Northwest Ohio, and Mother Adelaide led 5 sisters to the hard-hit Northwest Ohio town Gypsum to tend to the ill and feed their families. It wasn't long before mothers sent sisters for healthcare training, which resulted in the beginnings of the Sylvania Franciscan healthcare ministry. The years that followed were a time of hard work and many sacrifices for the sisters. They only allowed themselves life's necessities so they could save money to build and beautify the campus. The Porciunclo was built in 1936 and is a replica of the chapel in which St. Francis received his first followers in Assisi. Sylvania Franciscans were teaching in 17 different schools by the 1930s in all aspects of education. Class sizes sometimes exceeded 60 students.
Our primary purpose from the very beginning in 1916 was to help teach the immigrant children in Toledo. And we are still continuing to touch many lives through our Ministry of Education. One of my former students came to visit me, and he was filled with gratitude to the Sisters of St. Francis for the solid foundation he received in education, and as he said, for life. Each sister today could share many similar stories of their former students.
Generations of learning took place, and by 1958, the sisters found themselves establishing Lourdes Junior College so they could educate their own sisters. Retired Supreme Court Justice Judith Lanzinger remembers her years with the sisters and the impact they have had on her life.
I was a postulant and novice for the Sisters of St. Francis, and for 6 years I called the Sylvania Mother House my home. The remarkable women who taught at St. Clair Academy and Lourdes Junior College then shared their spiritual values as well as the academic standards. For 31 years as an elected judge and then Justice of the Supreme Court of Ohio, I carried their value of service to the community, and I want to thank the sisters for that.
Queen of Peace Chapel was built in 1961 and was Mother Adelaide's last construction project. In the 1970s, the Social Concerns Committee was formed to respond to the pain of the world and to peace and justice issues of the day. In 1975, Rosary Care Center was opened as a home for retired sisters and later for all religious and local residents. The sisters founded their Bethany House ministry in 1984, which impacted families immediately and still does today.
Bethany House impacted my life in a major way. So I lived there when I was a child, and they helped my mother because she was in a domestic violent relationship. So we lived there, and I met Sister Rose Therese there, who was the founder of Bethany House, and she saved our life. So just in a number of words, she just saved our life. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think I'd be here, or at least the path that I'm on. So my mother was able to get the help she needed to make some choices in her life that were more healthy instead of the dysfunctional ones that she was making at that time.
Over the years, others have joined the sisters on their path. The Associates were founded in 1982 to embrace the charism and live out the mission. By the 1990s, Sophia Center Ministry was founded to offer counseling and testing services.
We were inspired to create Sophia Center because in the beginning, when Sister Ruth Marie was our Congregational Minister and I was coming back from getting my doctorate, I was really clear that if someone didn't have insurance for mental health and counseling, they most probably weren't going to get in to see someone very easily. There'd be a long waiting line, and often they didn't get the services that they needed. So it seemed to me that as sisters who were compassionate about the marginalized, it would really be helpful to have a counseling center where we could see those that were uninsured or underinsured.
The Canticle Studio was established and set the path for all good things, art and gifts. The outreach of serving the marginalized is still realized today through the Garden for the Poor, which was created in 1992, donating food to the needy. The Sisters' year-round garden ministry began in 2008 because the fruits and vegetables they had been growing and donating were only grown in the summer. But hunger isn't seasonal. 2016 was truly a milestone for the sisters. There's nothing like a joyous centennial celebration to take pause and be thankful for all the blessings and the memories. Mother Adelaide was a visionary, an artist, and an educator. Those qualities live on today through all of the Sisters of St. Francis.
Now you know more about how the labyrinth has woven through our Sylvania Franciscan lives. We invite you, our relatives, friends, and partners in ministry, to continue walking with us. Our mission leads us forth.
For we believe in the love of our God.